G'day guys, Kade here. I'm a bassist from Melbourne, Australia, and today I'll be running you through how I recorded my bass cover of the legendary Phil Collins track, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. If you haven't already seen it, you can head over to kadeturner.com and check it out. I've always thought Phil was bloody awesome, and I remember hearing this song as a kid before I really knew what an instrument was. Something about the bass line in that chorus just stuck with me. Who would have thought 20 years later I'd be recording a cover and a video to show you how I did it. Nathan East is the original bassist for this track, who's just done a killer job on it. So I've added some fills, some runs, some nice melodic tapping for an outro, but otherwise I wanted to leave it as close to the original as possible because it's such an awesome track. For this track, I'm playing my beautiful Warwick neck-through 5-string 2010 model thumb bass. With my OCD behaviour, everything's always cleaned, checked, polished and made sure it's all Mickey Mouse before the start of any recording. This always includes a restring. I'm using Ernie Ball Slinky, gauge 45 to 130 in the standard tuning. They're warm, they're bright, and they're just generally awesome for the sound I go for. The bass is pretty stock standard aside from the preamp. My original pre stopped working in the studio a few years ago, halfway through an album actually, so I had to get it replaced with a 2015 model pre. They sound quite similar, slight differences in the treble. I actually like the highs a little bit more in the newer pre. I use canary cables with Neutrik connectors. I like to keep all my cables the same. They're affordable, they're good quality, and it's easy to get custom made lengths here in Melbourne. Now the cool part, I've used 2 DIs to record this track. I've used an Avalon U5 and my A-Design's Reddi or Reddi. Now why 2 DIs, you might ask? One's a solid state and one's a tube. Blended together, they complement each other and their characteristics are great for a nice thick, fat, full tone, which is exactly what I wanted on this track. Directly out of my DIs, I run into my Apogee 1 audio interface, straight into Pro Tools and straight into my 2015 iMac. The whole process for me is deliberate. I generally understand what sound I want before I start, so I'll choose the gear accordingly, and 9 times out of 10 we'll get there in the end with a good tone. So you will notice in the outro of the track I'm tapping. The sound that you're hearing is actually pedals. It's not a digital effect through Pro Tools. I'm a fan of recording the sound that you want to hear, so if I can obtain that and play around with pedals in the recording process, I will. For this affected signal, I've ran directly into my tuner, to a dark glass compressor, just to help even out the volume when you're going from heavy style finger playing into tapping, straight into an MXR carbon copy delay, and directly into the awesome Earthquaker Devices Afterneath pedal. Both of these pedals used subtly together sound great. I should also mention that the affected chain or channel was recorded directly through the Avalon U5, and simultaneously the clean channel was recorded through the Reddi. So in the mix, you actually blend the clean with the affected sound, so you get the nice reverb, ambient, washy sound of the pedals and the clarity of the clean Reddi together, and that's the final audio that you're hearing on the track. The original track is already killer as it is. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, but at the same time add over the top what I think is a really great bass tone. There's really no fancy wizardry or studio sorcery going on here. We've just ran the bass through a Neve 1073 Preamp EQ. This emulates a really nice analog sound. I generally know what sound I want before I start, so I'll work close with the mix engineer to obtain that. We've used a parametric EQ, firstly to take out any ugly mids and then to boost and cut any overall frequencies to taste. Next step is running it through a multi-band compressor. I really like multi-band compression because it allows you to target specific frequencies of the bass and compress them at different rates. We've also played with stereo imaging of the original track just to bring my bass up to center and make it audible and hopefully not too overpowering. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. This is just a brief insight into the detail I go into when recording and to show you what's involved. In the future, I'll be releasing more in-depth videos on my playing, tuition and recording. So please stick around, stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, follow, hit me up with any questions in the comments, and I'll bloody see you on the next one.